Okay, we're going to use coordinates of points to find slope. All right. But first, before we get into that, we should talk about the fact that there are different methods for finding the slope of a line. And something to keep in mind as well is that from here on out, whenever your math book or some sort of problem on a worksheet or a test is talking about slope, slope is usually represented by the variable m, and you'll usually be solving for m, or if m is equal to such and such, what are some possible coordinates. All right, so from here on out, when you see m, it's going to mean slope. So let's take a look at our different methods for finding slope or finding m. One is m equals rise over run, or rise divided by run. And that's something we just recently took a look at, how to do that. We can also say that m, or slope, is equal to change in y divided by change in x, which is pretty much another way of saying rise and run. And then another way to do that, the way that you do it when you are using coordinates, is where you have your two sets of coordinates, and you're going to subtract one of the y's by another y, and you're going to divide that by the difference between one of the x's and the other x. Okay, so the 2 and the 1 you see there, those are not exponents. What they are doing is they are representing a point, or the coordinates for a point in one point versus the second point. Okay, so let's take a look at how that really looks, because we're going to use that method of the second instance of y minus the first instance of y over the second instance of x minus the first instance of x. So we're going to do that in this problem here. So find the slope of the line that passes through R, which is -2, 3, and point S, which is 4, -1. We can do this without even using the graph, because we're just going to plug the numbers into our equation. Well, our equation for finding slope is m equals the second instance of y minus the first instance of y, all right, over the second instance of x minus the first instance of x. So let's take a look at that. What represents what? This will hopefully clear things up for you if you were confused. So the first instance of x is a -2. The first instance of y is equal to 3. All right, down here we have our second set of coordinates. All right, we have our second instance of x is 4, and our second instance of y is -1. So now we're going to plug in those coordinates into our formula for solving for slope, or solving for m. So we have -1 minus 3. So here we have -1. Here we're going to subtract 3 from that, over 4, which is down here, minus a -2. When we do this out, we end up with m equals -4 over 6. Or the way to say that once it's been simplified is that it's a -2/3. So m, or slope, is equal to -2/3.